Good morning and welcome to the Daily Tanya. Today is Tuesday, the 13th day of Nisan, Yud Gimel Nisan. Today is also the yahrzeit of the third Chabad Rebbe, the Tzemach Tzedek. Very special day. And we are continuing, starting chapter 40 in the Tanya. Let's begin with Tzedakah, Gedola, Tzedakah, Shemekareves Es HaGeula. And tonight, of course, is Bedikas Chametz. We've got to search for the Chametz tonight. Tomorrow, we stop eating the Chametz. You got to search, see the time in each place. And if you didn't sell your Chametz yet, make sure to go to the description. There's the link to sell the Chametz. So, in chapter 40, the Alter Rebbe continues with further explaining the concept of studying Torah, doing mitzvahs with kavanah. So as you remember, we spoke in last chapter, there is three levels, three ways of doing a mitzvah or studying Torah. One is with the proper kavanah. When we say kavanah, we mean with the feeling of love and fear of Hashem. And then we have without kavanah at all, you just study without any kavanah. Or when you study with the wrong kavanah, for the wrong reason. So when you study with kavanah, it elevates the Torah and the mitzvahs to the highest spiritual worlds. When you study without kavanah, it doesn't elevate it to the spiritual worlds. Unless you review the Torah once again with kavanah the second time. And when a person studies with the wrong reason, for the wrong reason, then the wrong reason being that you study it for your own selfish reason, you want to be smart, or you want to, there's different levels. But if it's for yourself, not for Hashem, then that self-feeling that is involved, it holds up this Torah that you study not to soar up high. And Alter Rebbe now goes to explain more in details what happens with a Torah study, that a person studies without kavanah, without anything. And he explains that when you study without kavanah at all, if it's not for the wrong reason, it does go up to the external part of the world. The world has the internal part, the spheres, and there is the external part. When you say words, when you utter the words itself goes up high, even if it's without the kavanah of understanding the Yiras Shamayim, the Ava, the love and fear of Hashem, it goes up, but it stays stuck in the chambers that are the outside of the worlds. And we'll explain a little bit more further. So let's start to see what the Alter Rebbe says. Says the Alter Rebbe, Kol zman shelei choza v'lo madavar ze lishma. But as long as he does not review this subject, lishma, meaning when you study Torah, without any kavanah, not for the wrong reason, you study without any kavanah lishma, to serve Hashem, with the love and fear of Hashem, you just study it. So the way to elevate it to the spiritual world is by studying it once again, and this time with kavanah lishma. But as long as he doesn't do it, his study does not ascend even to the 10 spheres which radiate in the world of Yetzirah and Asiya, not to mention the sphere of Beriah. So again, we explained there is the 4 spiritual worlds. There is Atzilus, Beriah, Yetzirah, Asiya. Atzilus is the world of emanation. Beriah is the world of creation, the world of intellect, godly intellect. The world of Yetzirah is the world of godly emotions. And the world of Asiya is the world of action. Now, in each world, there is the world itself. And again, we're not talking about physical worlds, we're talking about spiritual levels. But in each level, there is what is considered the world, the body of it, and there is the soul of it. The sphere is the attributes, the godly attributes are considered the godliness of each world. When you study the Torah with kavanah, with Yirah Shamayim, it elevates to the godliness of the world, the spheres, the 10 attributes. But if you don't, it does not elevate, does not reach the godliness, the spheres of the world, not even to the spheres of the world of Asiya, which is the lowest of the world. And he explains why. Because the spheres are a level of godliness. And the blessed Ein Sof Baruch Hu, the blessed Ein Sof light, is clothed within them and is united with them. The godliness of the world is united with the endless blessed Ein Sof light. But without fear and love, the Torah cannot rise to stand before God. The Ein Sof light, as it is written in Tikkunei Zaya. So what happens to the Torah study? It says the Alter Rebbe goes up to the chambers, the abodes. This is the place of the angels, which are on a much lower level. It's not the level of the godliness there that is united with an Ein Sof light. Instead, his Torah study rises to the chambers and abode of Yetzirah and Asiya, which are the externality of the worlds. Where the angels are situated. The angels are situated in the external parts, in the chambers of each world, because they're not connected with the spheres, with the inner part, with the godly part. Rabbi Chaim Vital, which was a student of the Arizal of blessed memory, he writes in chapter 2 of Shar HaNevuah, the portal of prophecy, that he says that from the Torah studied without kavana, angels are created in the world of Yetzirah. And from mitzvahs performed without kavana, angels are created in the world of Asiya. And now says the Alter Rebbe, v'chol malachim, and by lechayma v'tzucha. Now all angels are possessed of matter and form. What does it mean? Every creature in the world has matter and form. Physical creatures and even spiritual creatures. So we're talking about matter and form. For example, you take a canvas and you put 4 different colors. Just brushing colors. What do you see? You see colors. You see paint, different colors. This is the matter of what you see. If you take these colors and you make a beautiful painting out of it, all of a sudden you lose the focus on the matter, and the focus becomes more and more on the form of it. It becomes a beautiful painting, a painting that says something. In the spiritual sense also, there is concept of the matter and form. The angels also, there is the matter of the angels, and there is the form of the angels. The matter of the angels are created by the actions of mitzvahs. Any mitzvah that a person does, it says there is 613 angels that every person is able to create. And the form of the angels are the meaning, the kavana. The greater the kavana, the greater the intent, the meaning, the feelings that you put into the mitzvahs, the more form you receive. They become less of matter and more of form. So this is when you study Torah without any kavanah. So you do create many angels, but the angels are sort of angels with matter but without form, or at least with not the proper form. Aval Torah shelo lishma mamish, but Torah studied strictly shelo lishma. When you study for selfish reasons. For example, for example, for the purpose of becoming a scholar and the like. Is there anything wrong with becoming a scholar? No, nothing wrong. Everyone should study everyone should become a scholar. But if the whole kavana, the whole purpose of the learning is so that you become a scholar and people can say, here is a scholar, that is a selfish thing. So when you study Torah with such thing, then this Torah does not rise up. It doesn't ascend on high at all, not even to the chambers or the abode of the holy angels, not even to the externality of the worlds. If it has this selfishness attached to the Torah study, then it remains that ego, that selfish ego, drags and holds down this Torah study. It's sort of in exile down here in this world, doesn't go up. But remains instead below in this physical world, which is the abode of the klippos, the shells, the impure opposition of Hashem. Since the selfish motive stems from klippa, the Torah study that elicits remains in the abode of klippos. And now in the note, the Alter Rebbe says, when he brings from the Zohar proof to what he said, that when you say words, the words have a tremendous power and it rises up. So as long as it's not for the wrong reasons, when you study Torah, you do create angels, and the angels go up into the externality of the world. And when you do it with Kavanah, it goes into connected with the spiritual power, with the godliness of each world. So the Alter Rebbe says, note the Zohar part 3 on page 31b, with Daf Kof Chof Aleph, Lamed Beis Ayin Sham, on page 121b, where it is similarly written. What does it say? Imila salka uvoko rekin chulu. That spoken words ascends on high and pierces the heavens. Ve'ita made'ita, and evokes what it evokes. Itav tav chulu ayin sham. If the word that you utter is good, a word of Torah or the like, it evokes good. It says, note there. So the opposite is also true. The Daf Kufayim with Aleph. And also on page 105a, it says, Mila do'iraisei savid minei kol v'solik chulu. From a word of Torah, a voice is formed which rises. And then another place in Zohar, it says also, and again about words uttered through Torah study, rises up. And on page 168b, the voices of Torah and prayer ascend on high and pierce the heavens. So we see from the Zohar that the voice, even without the deeper kavana, the voice itself pierces up high. But again, in order to connect to this inner part of the world, the godliness of the world, you have to have the proper kavana. It is similarly written in Zohar. There's a verse that says, commenting on the verse, what profit as a man of all his toil that he labors under the sun? So what is the simple meaning of this verse? Is that all of these labors, you're working and here and there, all these physical things, you're making money, losing money, you're having a good time, all of these things that you're having, is you're going up there, there's nothing left. What benefit do you have from this? What profit do you have of this? What do we have profit? When you study Torah, and you do a mitzvah, you're connecting to Hashem. Then there is profit. This is something that lasts forever. However, the Zohar goes on and says that even the work, the toil of Torah, Also, if it's under the sun, it doesn't go up and there's no profit. Meaning, when the Torah study is for selfish reasons, that selfishness holds it up and doesn't let it rise. Says the Alter Rebbe brings from the Zoya that even with the toil of Torah, if one does it for his own glory, it belongs to the category of labor under the sun. It's under the sun, it doesn't rise up. And there is no profit in it. So we got to make sure that we have to bring along the Torah with us. How do you bring it along with you? Even if you studied for many, many decades without kavanah. Now, when you study one time that Torah with kavanah, it elevates everything that you did in the past, that you studied in the past. This is also the meaning of the saying of our sages, happy is he who arrives here on high with his Torah study in his hands, which is a little strange language here. I can say, praise is he who comes here and he studied Torah. What does it mean? The Torah study is in his hands? Torah is in the hand, not in the hand. That means that you didn't leave the Torah study down there. You brought it with you. How do you bring it with you? When you study the Torah with the kavanah, Hashem Shemayim, for the sake of fear and love of Hashem. And that's what it says, meaning that his Torah study did not remain below in this world. So they're saying this means, happy is he who studies Torah lishma, for the right sake, for the right reasons, so that his Torah ascends on high. He had not studied Torah lishma. Had he not studied Torah lishma, his Torah would not be with him, in his hand, when his soul ascends, but would have remained in this world. But of course, as we said yesterday, that regardless, the Torah encourages always to do Torah and to do mitzvahs, keep doing them, even if it's not for the right reason, because ultimately it will lead you for the right reason. But on the other hand, we realize the power that we have when you focus, you pay attention, and you do the Torah mitzvahs for the right reason. There's the famous story that we mentioned a number of times with the Baal Shem Tov. He once came to a town and there was a synagogue, and the Baal Shem Tov said, I can't walk into the synagogue because the place is full with Torah and prayer. And the students looked at him, what do you mean? Wouldn't that be a great place to come in? And he explained this, what it says, what we just learned in the Zohar. It says when people study Torah, but it's not done lishma, it's not done for the sake of Hashem, then all of the Torah remains down here, it's trapped in exile. That's what we need to do to make sure to do it lishma. And this is the end of today's shir. We'll see you tomorrow, B'ezrat Hashem. Have a wonderful day. Don't forget to get ready for Pesach, B'dikas Chametz tonight, and selling the Chametz and getting the handmade Shemura matzah for the first 2 nights for the Seder Pesach. Have a wonderful day.